Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and we have to take a look today at the Los Angeles Kings. So the Kings are in a weird spot right now. You look at the Kings, and this is a team that halfway through the season finds themselves third in their Pacific Division. They find themselves probably as a playoff team. So what kind of moves could they make to get better here before the March 21st trade deadline? We'll be taking a look at that today. So looking at the LA Kings, like I said, they sit with a 24-16-7 record. That's 47 games played, 55 points. And like I said, they currently sit third in the Pacific Division. So right now, you look at the Kings and you think to yourself, whoa, they've definitely had a turnaround, right? Despite all of the injuries they had early in the season. Edler projected to probably be out the rest of the season. Drew Doughty was out with an injury. Sean Walker out for the season. There was a lot of concern for that team for a while. Yet, here they are. They've managed that. Drew Doughty's back. Edler could come back before the end of the regular season. And all of a sudden, there's a little bit of hope for the LA Kings. And I think with how they played this year, you have to see that there is hope for this team. Phillip Danault comes in from free agency. Kind of was is he a good fit there? Obviously, he's been a good fit there. He's really fit into their scheme and their system very well. He's lined up in the roster on the second line pretty much perfectly and flawlessly, while some of the younger guys like Quinton Byfield and Velarde get more experience under their belt. So we have some interesting thoughts, though, on who could maybe going out. Now, this was brought up last year around the deadline. Could the Islanders potentially go after a guy like Dustin Brown? And that ended up falling through. But now that discussion has picked up again as number 23 of the Los Angeles Kings is on the block. So this from Elliot Friedman. The Kings will discuss Dustin Brown's future during the All-Star Game break. They like him with Quinton Byfield. So that is part of the thing. They want to trade him. This is the final year of his contract. I think it's 5.4, something like that, right? Big power forward, was the captain of the Kings for a little while. He's been a leader for this team now for almost a decade. He's been there for a while. And Dustin Brown is definitely going to be a name out there. But again, he's played really well as a physical, big body player with Quinton Byfield, the young rookie. So he's been able to acclimate to the NHL better with Brown on his wing. So this is from Elliot Friedman. Dustin Brown has been pretty vocal about not wanting to go anywhere. I think the Islanders last year poked around on him. I got to think everyone there in LA is looking that if they can, Dustin Brown retires as an LA King. And that was from the Jeff Merrick show from Elliot Friedman. So they want to keep him around. That is definitely on the table. Yet, if you look at it, there is the possibility for sure that we see Dustin Brown get traded. Again, never say never in this sort of situation. So this is interesting from GM Rod Blake from Elliot Friedman. The LA Kings are looking for a left shot D-man, preferentially with some size. GM Rod Blake mentioned natural goal scoring, pointed to Arvidsson deal, adding not as high as a cost. The Kings have no desire to move Jonathan Quick. So that is interesting. I don't know why they threw that out there, but I guess Jonathan Quick is off the trade block. So you don't have to worry about that. If you're Kings fans out there that like number 32, he will stay in LA in between the pipes. So this, again, comes back to the narrative that they need help defensively because they, at one point, were down 3 left shot defensemen. Like I said, in I think it was October, November. Walker out for the year. He is done for the year, so that has not changed. Edler will come back, but he's been out most of the year, and Doughty was out for a couple of weeks. So the LA Kings really were getting their depth guys like Bjornfoot, like Mikey Anderson. They were playing a hell of a lot of hockey, and they were getting some experience, but the Kings were taking a hit from that. So it's good to see them survive that. They've overcome that, and now they have a chance to really do something special this year. So now we've heard about a couple of names that are linked to the LA Kings, and this is from NHL Rumors Today. Michael DeRosa, Kings looking to make 2 upgrades. So according to Elliot Friedman, the Kings are looking to add a left shot defenseman. We talked about that. We look at their record, 24-16-7. However, teams like the Calgary Flames and Oilers can catch them as they have multiple games in hand on the Los Angeles Kings. Therefore, as an attempt to help solidify their playoff spot, it makes sense for them to make upgrades. The market is expected to have no shortage of left-handed defensemen. Names like Chychrun, Chychrun, and Giordano are three big names. I think Chychrun is a little bit of a long shot, but I know Kings fans out there, you guys have mentioned in the comments, you do really want Chychrun. It will be interesting to see who the Kings look to add on offense. There are some interesting forwards that we could see moved, like Max Domi, Phil Kessel, Jake DeBrusk, Dominic Kubalik, and Kalle Järnkrok. Ideally, it seems that Los Angeles would like to improve upon their top six primarily. Nevertheless, with the Kings expected to be buyers, we could see them make some moves come deadline day. Now, you have to remember, again, the Kings have a lot of depth and prospects, and that is going to help them in making a move. So I think the Kings will have some say at this year's deadline. They have draft picks, they have prospects, so they will be able to make those moves. And I think that if you look at the LA Kings in terms of maybe moving a Dustin Brown, that would be a pretty significant move. But again, I think that's more of, if you're looking at bringing in a Chychrun, it's in order to relieve themselves of some cap space. Not necessarily that they want to move Brown, but it's in order to make the available space to bring somebody else big in. So that is going to be the conversation. Like I said, out of all three of those, I like Giordano or Chychrun. I really think both those guys are really going to be options that the Kings look at. Yet, again, I think in the summer, I think they will look at Jakob Chychrun as well. I could see the Kings definitely taking a swing at that. But again, those talks seemingly, from what I've heard in other, from other videos I've made, they've said that the Kings and Rangers are out on Chychrun. So you got to look at it as up to date. Maybe they are back on the chase. They were off, now they're back on. It's hot and cold. So then maybe, the Coyotes are saying, well, maybe they aren't that interested if they're so in and out, right? So we'll see what happens. Of course, stay up to date on the channel. Make sure, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when new videos come out. I post 2 videos pretty much every day, 3 days, 3 videos per day on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again next time.